Hi, this is Bruce with Hunsaker Home Hacks. Please subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for future notifications, share me with a friend and on social media. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. We're talking about a Reolink camera today. This is the RLC-810A camera. This is a POE camera, so it gets its power through the Ethernet cord. What are you going to do? We are going to open this box. We're going to see what's inside. We're going to check this puppy out. So don't touch that dial. Stay right here as we check out the Reolink RLC-810A camera. Okay, people. Now it's time for another edition of What's in the Box? What's in the box? Reolink RLC-810A. Live view with Reolink app on smartphone anytime, anywhere. Let's open the box. Cue the music, Phil. Alright, we have a starter's guide. Looks like an accessories kit. A Ethernet cord, screws and anchors, and the Reolink itself. This is a heavy duty built camera. Alright, so what do we got here? It's made of cast metal. Look at those LEDs there. There's a lot of them in there. SD card slot on the back. Look at the camera lens. So this moves in many different directions. So you can mount it this way. You can mount it this way, or from below. That ball joint really gives you a lot of different options in mounting. Ethernet cord and power supply and reset button. So what do we get in the box? An Ethernet cord, that back to goodies, that, and an instruction manual. So what are we going to do? We're going to hook this puppy up and see how it works. Alright, so we now have everything we need to get the Reolink RLC-810A hooked up. So what do you need? First thing is you need your Ethernet cable coming from your router right here. Then you need another Ethernet cable that will go to your POE, which is right here. So here's your POE. And on the front of your POE you have your in and then your out. So here's our out. And then that will connect over to this bad boy right here. Like so. And then through your POE you will then connect your Ethernet cable. Like so. So we have all our cables connected. And now we have our camera hooked up, and it is going to click here, and now we have lights on the front. So from here we will go into the Reolink application. We're going to hit plus. Now on the bottom of the camera is a QR code. Alright. First step, we're going to create a login password. We're going to name our camera as front. And we're going to finish initializing. Alright, we have our camera in there now. That's awesome. So from there, let's take a look at this camera and what it looks like. So let's just set it down right here. Okay, so that looks like a good picture. So let's expand that picture up. It has really good clarity and detail. It looks like that. That's pretty awesome. And then let's get out of here. And let's see what else we can see here. Alright, so we have the ability to take a picture, snapshot, save it down. We can record a video, stop the video, flute, balance, and look at that clarity right there. That is frickin' phenomenal. This camera has amazing clarity when you set it up at the high setting. I mean, you can practically read the label on that there. You can see that is just very good. All right, that's awesome. Let's go back out of here. All right, now from there we're going to go into the nut. In the nut you can rotate the screen, so it will then flip the screen from upside down to right side up. Resolution 3840 by 2160 is what we have it set up at the max rate. Alright. And anti-flicker 60 megahertz, day night auto. Camera name bottom right. Do we really want the camera name in there? If you want, you can put it there or you can hide it. Alright, and then the date. We can do it in the center, top left. So you have the date. Alright, perfect, perfect. Do we want a watermark on it? That takes the Reolink watermark off. And then we had the privacy mask to where you can go in and select areas that you want. We're going to just say trash to that right now. We don't want to do that. Alright, then we have advanced, exposure, light balance, and 3D on or off. Alright, cancel. Let's go back over here. There we go. That's display. So out of display, we can go into motion detection. Sensitivity is high. I don't think we need it that high. We're going to say we're going to set it to low, which means I got to get pretty close to it. Alright, multi-zones, that's where you can set your zones of what you want. We're not going to do that right now because it's currently in the house. And then let's see what here, push notifications, so you can get push notifications from your application into your device. That's awesome. Okay, so we have the camera installed in its home. So now we're going to look at everything and try to set different things up. We're currently on the balanced. If we go to the top tier of our, you can see how much detail that provides with this camera. The cool thing about a direct wire camera is it doesn't have to sleep. It doesn't have to wake up when when something happens and then start taking. There's no delay. This camera is always on, always ready, always going to do what it has to do. Now let's take a look at different things here. Let's switch our viewpoint. That's in the way. Alright, so here's our viewpoint. You can see the clarity of this camera right off the bat. It is a very, very clear picture that's coming up here. You can pinch, and I mean the details are phenomenal for this camera. But you can see the details on these trees that are 2 to 3 houses away. That is freaking awesome. You can even see through the windows of my wife's car to see the back seat. That is phenomenal. That's a phenomenal picture. Alright, so then in here, now there's no pan and tilt because it's a fixed camera and it never sleeps, never needs a rest. And then you can go in here and take a picture. You can then take a video. You can share through the application. You can pause it so you can stop the streaming. This is fluent. You can see on that the picture gets a lot more blurry, but it's still a good picture, but it's not as detailed. And then if you go into balanced, which is your midway point, a good picture, takes up less space on your card, but a very good picture. And then if you go into 3840 by 2160, you have a clear and crisp picture, and that's awesome. Alright, so let's go back over here. Let's go into our setup. Now we're going to go into our nut here. We have a detection alarm. We have a detection zone. Create a zone over an area you don't want to receive alerts about. So we don't want to receive alerts in anything in this zone, because we don't need the information from cars going down the street. So there we go. And we don't need this tree to be rustling in the wind. So we're going to block these off. Alright, so now we're going to hit save. We're going to set our sensitivity. We'll leave it at low. And there we're done. So we're going to get push notifications. We're going to set up a push schedule. We're just going to say at this point we want any person, any motion whatsoever. But you can set it up for person, vehicle, things of that nature. But we're going to select them all. Alright, then if you want to get email alerts, you can set that up. Alright, so we have our email set up. If we want to share the camera, we can send the QR code or have a family member share the camera. We can set up a time-lapse, and then advanced we can do user management, date and time, F2L, record audio. If we want to record audio, we click the button. Infrared lights are on auto, so we can get our night vision, and that's cool. There we go. So those are all taken. Alright, so now we're in playback mode, so we can see the different playback that we have. Drag icon to control the video image. So here's our video. You can see this is where I was setting up the camera, adjusting the camera here. Since we have it set up for any motion in these videos, that it's going to capture any motion. So let's go and look at this one here. 26-second clip. Motion was caused by my neighbor backing out of his garage and or the tree there, but we've taken care of that. But this one, as you can see, it recognized a human and it recognized a car. Because I moved the camera, the car came in better thing, and then I walk across the screen here. Right here is where I walk across the screen so it knows that a person was in the camera. Alright, so now you got to see the Reolink, the RLC-810A in action. Let's go over a few different things. First off, let's go over your POE. This is the POE that we finally ended up with for the Reolink to power the Reolink. Now, if you're going to buy a POE, my suggestion is definitely look at a name brand POE. We had some issues with off-name POEs not working properly. And this is the TP-Link TL-POE-150S. So this one works perfectly fine, and it's not very expensive at all. It's under 20 bucks. So this is the one you want to go for. I'll leave it there. Also, when you're pulling the Ethernet cable for the camera, I would suggest making your own wire. Buy the kit, make your own wire, pull it. You're going to have a very small pinhole. You can run your snake through the wall, you can run it all the way down, and then you can pull that wire straight up. Then you can put all the protective covers that Reolink provides you to make sure that the Ethernet cord is completely waterproof. If you try to use a store-bought one, you're going to have a much bigger hole because most of them have protection on the ends of the wire and makes it much larger. So that would be my other suggestion. If you're not going to be pulling it through a wall or pulling it to a different location, then you can use a store-bought one as you so choose if it doesn't need to be water protected. Also, the Reolink app has a lot of customizable features. We went over many of them. You can do a lot with that application. I would also suggest when you're putting in your SD card, make sure it's a class 10 so it can handle the speed of the camera and give you good quality playback. On top of that, the picture produced at 3840 by 2160 is phenomenal. The clarity and everything is top notch. But it's even really good in the balance mode. That's the middle of the road mode. Also, in this aspect, there's no need to wake up the camera. It's always on. It's going to do its job. It's getting its power, and it's constantly doing what it's supposed to do when you told it to do it. So, if you're interested in the Reolink RLC-810A, I put a link below where you can find it, along with all the specs and details. This is Bruce with Hunsaker Home Hacks. Please subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for future notifications, share me with a friend and on social media. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And I will see you soon. See you soon. See you soon.